A wedding, one of the most important milestones in human life. But why do we have weddings? In this documentary-style narrative, we will seek answers to the following questions. What is a wedding, and why is it held? Did early humans have weddings? What was the purpose of weddings in ancient times? How did religions influence weddings? How have weddings changed in the modern world? Social media and the wedding perception, the future of weddings, and a philosophical perspective. 1. What is a wedding, and why is it held? A wedding is a ceremony held to formalize the union of two people, to announce their togetherness to society, and to celebrate a new beginning. Throughout history, different societies and cultures have celebrated weddings in various ways. Some through simple rituals, others with grand festivities. But at its core, a wedding is both a personal and communal agreement. People declare not only to each other but also to their families, friends, and society that we are now together. 2. Did early humans have weddings? In prehistoric communities, there were no written rules, but social order still existed. One of the foundational elements of that order was marriage. What we might call a wedding in those times was more about rituals, symbols, and tribal customs than formal ceremonies. Dancing around fire, receiving the tribal leader's blessing, or offering sacrifices were all ways of acknowledging union. These rituals signified that the couple now belonged to the community and had earned the right to live together. Weddings were often seen as rites of passage, marking the transition from childhood to adulthood. 3. What was the purpose of weddings in ancient times? In Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome, weddings were more than a personal bond. They were social, economic, and political events. The Code of Hammurabi outlined specific marriage laws. In ancient Egypt, written contracts were common between bride and groom. In Greece, weddings ensured citizenship and the continuation of the family line, while in Rome, they reinforced power dynamics between noble families. Weddings reflected class distinctions. Aristocrats had elaborate ceremonies, while common people held simpler celebrations. These ceremonies often included vows made in the presence of the gods, underlining their spiritual importance. 4. How did religions influence weddings? During the Middle Ages, religion became more dominant in marriage practices. In Christianity, marriage was declared a sacrament, a sacred bond. Without the church's blessing, a marriage was not considered valid. Divorce became nearly impossible. In Islamic law, marriage is a contract, but also an act of worship. The wedding, nikah, is performed in the presence of witnesses and with prayers, establishing the union under divine approval. Other major religions like Judaism, Hinduism, and Buddhism also developed rich wedding traditions filled with symbols and sacred rites. Religions elevated the wedding from a civil contract to a moral and spiritual commitment. 5. How have weddings changed in the modern world? After the Industrial Revolution, urbanization and individualism reshaped wedding practices. Weddings were no longer just family arrangements. Personal choices and romantic ideals began to dominate. In the 20th century, weddings became more standardized and commercialized. Invitations, photographs, white dresses, flowers, music, and elaborate cakes became the norm. Media and cinema played a significant role in shaping the romantic image of weddings. The wedding became both a celebration and a performance, where the memory became just as important as the moment. 6. Social media and the wedding perception. In the 21st century, the digital age transformed weddings further. Social media turned weddings into shareable content. Platforms like Instagram and YouTube made weddings visible not only to guests, but also to global audiences. Live streams, hashtags, cinematic videos, all contributed to turning weddings into curated events. This shift sometimes replaced authenticity with presentation. However, it also allowed people to explore diverse wedding customs from around the world. Social media became a new cultural space for expressing and reshaping traditions. 7. The future of weddings and a philosophical perspective. So, what lies ahead for weddings? Virtual ceremonies, marriages in the metaverse? Maybe society will move away from traditional weddings, or perhaps rediscover their deeper meaning. Regardless of the format, the essence remains: to celebrate a union, to make it public, and to give it symbolic meaning. Humans are ritualistic beings. A wedding is one of the few ceremonies that bridges the personal and the collective. It continues to evolve, but its core purpose endures: to mark a profound transition with joy, meaning, and community.